wasn't sure if I was gonna do another one of these. Like, I did the first Twilight movie, I guess like a month or so ago, and a lot of people seem to like it, but I mean, you know, like, was I really gonna put myself through all that again? What, are you kidding? Of course I am. That's what I'm here for. So if you want to check out my first Twilight video, please do. But to summarize the first movie, Bella's all like, duh, and Edward's like, duh, and then something else happens, I think, maybe. Now, this movie starts out with Bella having a dream where she's an old grandma, but of course, Edward stays the same because, you know, the whole vampire thing.
Happy birthday, Bella.
Now, I get why this is like a nightmare or whatever, but I think you're missing the bigger picture here, Bella, because like, you'll make so much money going on Dr. Phil when this happens. Anyway, it's Bella's birthday, she's 18 and a senior, so you know, she's basically just one step away from moving into a nursing home.
Happy birthday.
Don't remind me.
Well, your birth is definitely something to celebrate.
Yeah, my aging's not.
You're aging. I think 18 is a little young to start worrying about that.
It's 1 year older than you.
No, it isn't. I'm 109.
He says with a complete lack of self-awareness about how weird this is. So watching this movie, right, like the first 20 minutes or so, it's just the cheesiest romance garbage you'll ever hear. I mean, seriously, just listen to this.
Bella, you give me everything just by breathing. Bella, the only thing that can hurt me is you. And I don't have anything else to be afraid of. You're my only reason to stay alive.
Make it stop. Make it stop. So later at Edward's house, everyone's giving Bella presents for her birthday that she specifically asked them not to give her. So, you know, she's pretending to be all embarrassed or whatever, but deep down, just like the rest of us, you know, she's all like, sweet, free stuff. Now, somehow she gets this huge paper cut on her finger from a decorative ribbon. I mean, look at it. Like, how would you even do that? What, is the whole thing just made out of razor blades? Oh, hey, Bella, here's a little something for your birthday. Funny story, you know, I didn't have any paper, so I just wrapped it up in chainsaws. Anyway, so the blood that's gushing out of her paper cut gets the vampires a little excited. Okay, wait a second here. So in the first movie, right, Edward's all like, I would never hurt you. I will always protect you, or whatever dumb thing he said, right? But like the first thing he does in this movie is he throws her across the room into some flower pots. Bella, I would never hurt you. Oh, Edward. Just kidding. Now later, Edward shows up at Bella's house to deliver the bad news that he and his family have to move away.
We have to leave Forks.
Why?
Carlisle's supposed to be 10 years old in the looks. People are starting to notice.
And let's be honest, that's kind of a flimsy excuse because, like, I mean, have you ever seen Gwen Stefani? She hasn't aged since, like, 1997. Anyway, so he uses this as an excuse to break up with Bella. And as you can probably imagine, Bella takes this about as well as any 18-year-old being done for the first time.
If this is about my soul, take it. I don't want it without you.
It's not about your soul.
It's not about your soul, Bella. It's just that last night while you were sleeping, I looked on your computer, and why does your homework folder have like 600 pictures of SpongeBob in lingerie? So after the breakup, Bella spends the next several months with this face.
There's a possibility.
Which, funny story, is the same exact face I made the whole time I watched this movie. Anyway, so eventually she gets over herself and she starts hanging out with Jacob and fixing motorcycles because, you know, she's not like other girls. And at the same time, she tries to get back with her old friends and pretend like she didn't just ditch them all a year ago.
I was just wondering if you wanted to go see a movie with me.
We should get a bunch of people to go. Do you guys want to go see Face Punch?
Face Punch, yeah. Mike, hey, we're supposed to watch that. Remember the trailers, like,
Yeah.
punch faces.
Yeah. Movie night with Bella.
But on the night, almost everyone bails, and Bella's stuck hanging out with Jacob and this guy, who you know, by the way, just by looking at him, he's one of those dudes who walks up to girls in the hallways, you know, and he's like, where's my hug? And now we have this scene. You know, this scene just really speaks to me. You know, the infamous, I want to hold your hand, but totally not look like I do. This is just the worst. You know, you're sitting there, you want to hold her hand, but like you don't want to seem desperate or anything, because, heaven forbid you actually care about something, right? So you end up doing that thing where you rest your hand on the armrest, like palm up, fingers out, totally inconspicuous. And like you spend the entire movie just slowly inching your hand towards the other person's, I guess hoping you'll touch thumbs or something? Because everyone knows if your thumb's touched, then legally you have to hold hands. And somehow your hand is dry and sweaty at the same time. No idea how that's even possible, but there you are. And like if you do ever end up holding hands, it's just so sweaty by that point that you have to like take a break and wipe it off every 5 minutes. I guess what I'm trying to say is movie dates are a terrible idea, okay? Just don't even bother. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, Twilight. So they all decide to leave in the middle of the movie because of how terrible it is.
Kind of ironic, don't you think?
And then we get maybe the most painful scene in the entire movie.
I feel bad. He probably has that flu that's going around.
After this, the other guy shows up and Jacob gets real mad for some reason, but decides to go home. Then he, like Edward, just kind of disappears for a while, leaving Bella all alone.
Jake, your dad says you have mono. He won't let me visit, but would you call me? It's me again. I just wanted to hear your voice, so no pressure. Jacob, please. Call me.
But this time, she's not just gonna sit in her room and mope about it. Because, seriously, how many times can one person listen to Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan back to back before you lose your mind? You know what I'm saying? So she goes to see Jacob and finally get to the bottom of why he doesn't wear shirts anymore.
It's not you, it's me, right? Really?
It's true. I'm not good. I used to be a good kid. Not anymore.
I used to be a good boy, but I'm a bad boy now. I don't even wear my helmet anymore. Now Bella goes home and is just hanging out in her room when suddenly Jacob shows up and ninja climbs his way in.
Look, I'm sorry.
Okay, what just happened here? So Jacob just shows up like this? Do you really just not own any shirts now? And then Bella just does this? Like, what are you even doing? Oh, hey Jacob, nice to see you. Hold on one second here. Yep, What the heck are you doing there, Bella? Anyway, Jacob tries to tell her what's going on with him, but he can't say it directly because, that would just be too convenient. So the next day, Bella figures it out and goes to see him. But one thing leads to another, and we find out the dark secret they've all been keeping. The whole wolf thing is cool and all that, but I gotta ask, are there just piles of ripped up jean shorts and stuff everywhere? Like the whole forest must just look like a Magic the Gathering tournament blew up or something. Anyway, after this, Bella and Jacob are having a moment, but then Bella sees the Cullens car in front of her house and she's like, never mind, bye Jacob. But it turns out it's just Edward's sister coming to check on her because earlier, Bella jumped off a cliff. Like you do, I guess.
You won't stay with me any other way.
Bella, please.
Now, her doing this leads Edward to believe that Bella's dead, and now his life has no meaning. So his grand plan is to expose himself at noon in front of everyone in this little rinky-dink Italian town, which honestly raises a lot of questions about the kind of guys Bella's into, Because, okay, so Jacob doesn't believe in shirts anymore, and now Edward's just taking off his clothes in the middle of town. I'm just saying, Bella sure has a type. Anyway, so Bella stops him at the last second, and he's all like, whoa. And she's like, yeah.
You're here. You're alive.
I needed to make you see me once. You had to know that I was alive, that you didn't have to feel guilty about anything. I can let you go now.
I just couldn't live in a world where you don't exist.
I get that this is so romantic to a very specific age demographic, but would you really want to date someone whose entire hobby is you? Anyway, after this is all said and done, Edward and Bella get taken to meet some vampire counsel who are interested in what makes Bella so special, which, to be fair, I've been wondering that the whole time myself. Turns out she's completely immune to all their special vampire powers, and they decide to turn Bella into a vampire, but she wants to wait until after graduation so she doesn't have to keep going back to high school over and over again for the rest of forever. And in the end, Edward stares at Bella, again, for way too long.
Marry me, Bella.
And of course, Bella's like, what? I'm only 18. I still have so many dreams and things I want to do, you silly goose. Just kidding. Bella actually responds by having an asthma attack. And that's how the movie ends. You know, after watching the first movie, I figured like, it really couldn't get much worse. Like the first Twilight movie's just kind of dumb, but this one is on a whole other level. Nothing that happens really makes any sense. Like Edward disappears to protect Bella, I get that. But like the whole thing that drives the story is that Edward hears Bella jumped into the ocean and he's like, well, I guess that's that. And yes, I know it's based on Romeo and Juliet, but can we talk about that for a second? So in the play, Romeo's like 18 or like 20 or something, and Juliet is 13. Okay, but let's just put that aside for a second. Now, them being all young and Twitter-pated and not thinking straight, like, I get it, that's fine. But in this movie, okay, Bella is 18, which is still pretty young, but Edward is 109! The whole point of his character is that he's calm, collected, he knows everything about everything, or like whatever, right? So how is he the dumbest character in the whole movie? It doesn't make any sense. And don't even get me started on Bella, okay? I mean, I've seen a lot of these kinds of movies and TV shows or whatever, but like, I don't know if I've ever seen another protagonist quite as annoying as Bella. Like in one scene, Bella's like, oh, Jacob, you're beautiful. And then like 10 seconds later, she's like, don't talk to me, Jacob. Pick a lane, Bella. Let me tell you, okay, this movie is really something else. But I mean, hey, how much worse could these movies possibly get, you know? Hey everybody, thanks for watching. So really quick, once again, we have Bella's engagement ring, just a little replica, a little accessory for you if you're interested, little Twilight merch for you. Check out the link below, it's in the store, you know, just there if you want it. Help support the channel and all that. You know, when I made the first video, like, I had been asked so many times to make a Twilight video, where's Twilight? You know, and I was kind of putting it off because like, I wanted to make sure I could do it right. Because, you know, like every video I make, I try to get a little bit better, you know? There's several movies and TV shows that I have on a list waiting, but it's like, I want to make sure I do them right. I want to make sure that I'm good enough, or I feel like I'm good enough that I could do it justice. Whatever that means, you know? And so I did the first movie, and the reaction was, you know, pretty positive, but there was like, this small pocket of people, I assume they were new subscribers, new viewers, you know, because most of you who've been with me for a long time, you guys get the joke. You guys know what's going on. But for the new people, you know, it's like, there's just these people and there's so many like comments and like on Twitter and stuff, they're like, how dare you, you know? The thing about Twilight though, is like, you know, we all make fun of the movies. The movies were like a big deal, like in our face, because like the books were popular for a while before the movies even came out, you know? And so when the movies came out, it was in this like general consciousness, like, Twilight's so cringy, it's so bad. And the movies are quite bad. But you know, from everything I've heard and what I've looked at myself briefly, you know, like the books really aren't that bad. It's just that the movies like just over exaggerated like everything to the point where it just became so ridiculous, you know? I mean, the books aren't like amazing or anything, but they're not like super horrible. I also just want to apologize for some of the weird like audio stuff that's going on. You know, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, we're currently moving. And so I'm kind of in this like room setup that's really not ideal at all. And like, I tried a whole bunch of weird stuff. Like I had like a blanket for it for a while. And then I tried to like set up things around the wall, and I've bought some like foam stuff and I'm trying to set it up in a way that works, but we're going to be moving somewhere permanent soon. So I can't like put stuff on the walls or whatever. It's a whole thing, but I just want to apologize for the weird audio. You know, I hope it's at least all right, you know, trying my best here, but there's only so much I can do. Anyway, guys, once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Let me know what was your favorite part of the video, or what's a TV show, movie you want me to take a look at, or just say hi, you know, whatever. Follow my dog Charlie on Instagram, Charlie Meets Pumpkin. My wife posts there almost every single day, so you get a little extra Charlie in your life. You know, I mean, why wouldn't you? And above all else, have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.